Hey guys, in this video I want to talk to you about how to streamline your business to achieve freedom in 7 steps. So step number 1 is to create a strategy for your business. Now, what do I mean by strategy? By strategy, I mean creating goals and specific key measurable results or milestones that have an exact metric assigned to it. For example, a goal can be to increase the lead generation, increase the number of leads for your company, and then a metric can be in the next 3 months I want to increase the organic lead generation with 30%. It's very specific, it has a time frame in it. So at the level of the company, you can define multiple goals depending on the department, and you can also define multiple key results for each of the goals. If the goal is, for example, to increase the lead generation, you can have a specific key result for organic, a specific key result for ads. So this is step number 1 into your freedom and removing yourself from the business, is really nail down those goal creation, that strategy that includes goals and the key results. The number 2 is to define the execution for each of the goals, for each of the pieces of your strategy, to define the execution. So how exactly are you going to achieve that? And that means that you're going to have to define specific projects, initiatives, which is a series of workflows, of combination of tasks that are, higher level, parent level, like specific initiative to, for example, to train one of your employees and then to start doing organic using Facebook groups and things of that sort. And then break those little projects down into very specific tasks. Like, for example, add 20 Facebook friends new in every single day on each of our accounts, or create videos every 2 days on YouTube. So these are very specific tasks or little projects in order to achieve those goals. So this is step number 2, is defining the execution. Step number 3 is defining principles for your company. What does that mean? It means that when you're going to be defining a task, when you're going to be assigning someone to do something, when you're going to be hiring people, whenever you're going to take any action in your company, you have to be governed by a series of principles, a series of values that you have, of best practices, of ways of you working, stuff that are defined by your brand, by your uniqueness on the market. It's just things that drive your decision making when you have to choose what kind of person you want to hire, what kind of culture you want to build. And that is very important because the entire company needs to be aligned with that. The entire staff needs to be aligned with that. When you're faced with taking a very specific decision, you have your principles to rely on. For example, it may be that you never want to sacrifice your customers' results, even if it means lowering your revenue. For example, you can have a specific principle that we're gonna do our best to help our customer achieve their results whenever we can do something about it by hiring someone. That could be one of the principles, which means that you're fine with hiring a staff to support your customers because that's a specific value, a specific principle of your company. We're not gonna be looking at money when we can do something more to help our customers. Other principles can be related to how people work, can be related to the autonomy you offer to your staff, and it can be part of the culture itself. So principles embodies in this situation, culture, embodies best practices, embodies things of that sort, values of your company, and maybe even branding related things that differentiate you in approach to business compared to other competitors of yours. Like, for example, inclusiveness can be one of them. Okay, next one is standardize. The 4th one is standardizing problem solving. What does that mean? Standardizing problem solving. Well, if you want to remove yourself from the business, you have to have a very standardized way, a very analytic way to analyze any problem that shows up in your business, so that anybody else that is going to take care of those problems, any owner of a department or anybody that encounters a specific problem, they can do as much as possible themselves to fix the problem. What does that mean? For example, it could mean an example of such a standardization of problem solving can be, for example, whenever a problem shows up, ask the following questions. In which task did that problem show up? Well, doing specific videos. We keep on doing mistakes on putting titles onto the videos. As part of what project was that? Well, it's as part of the video creation. Who is in charge of that? Well, there's this person in charge of that. Do you have procedures for that? No, we do not have procedures. There you go. This is how you solve a problem. You go and you diagnose until you find the root cause of the problem. That's an example of a workflow for problem solving. So you must define these kind of processes that nobody's going to come from other departments and complain to you, look what happens. You have a standardized way that they can follow to solve the problems and get to the root of the problem themselves. And if there's and later if there's a decision that needs to be taken, for example, to get new resources, to hire new staff, then they can come to you, the executive, the CEO, the owner of the business, for you to take decisions that only you should be taking. Next one is document and delegate execution. Now, what does that mean? This step number 5, we're getting closer to everything that involves, now that everything is well defined, involves delegating everything. So step number 5, delegating execution, is the first step that involves actual delegation. And what it means is that right now, instead of you doing stuff, you're going to be delegating this execution onto other people. You're going to be hiring other people. You're going to be hiring contractors or employees that they're going to be doing stuff that are just tasks or little projects. They're not strategic related. For example, you're going to be hiring contractors that are going to add subtitles to videos. You're going to be hiring people that are going to be posting on social media. You're going to be hiring people that can offer a certain level of support in the product delivery, like whatever coaching calls that you have, customer support that you have. In every department, when there's actual execution and there's a step-by-step execution that needs to be followed, you want to hire and delegate. And this delegation of execution can happen at 2 levels. Level 1 is basically things that can be executed with just a procedure, like a step-by-step. Download this video, upload it to Otter AI, generate subtitle, upload subtitle, post this. So if the level 1 of execution and delegating, documenting and delegating execution is about following procedures, which require just someone that is junior with not necessarily high skilled or high knowledge in the area, just need to follow instruction. The level 2 of execution that you can document and delegate is based on processes. That means that it's an entire workflow that someone that you're going to be hiring needs to be able to follow completely, and they need to actually be able to delegate the right procedure, to create themselves the right procedure or the right tasks, little steps of execution for that entire process. Let's say that the process is about managing social media overall, right? That means that they should be able to define the procedures, okay, how often they need to be scheduling posts, on which platforms and whatnot. So they need to be able to do that workflow entirely and follow the high-level process. Let's talk about the number 6, which is documenting and delegating strategy. If number 5 was about documenting and delegating execution, the next level, which brings you more freedom into your business, is when you're not just documenting and delegating to other people exactly what to do, but the step number 6 is the fact that you are hiring people that are able to take over the creation of the strategy. And again, the same way, the level 1 of delegating the strategy is to bring in people that are able to actually define those milestones, define the key metrics, and later on define the little projects, the little initiatives that are going to fulfill those milestones. And the level 2, the highest level of delegation that you could do in your company, is going to free up your time, is the delegation of creating the goals and driving the fulfillment and the achievement on the goals. So this is step number 6, is documenting and delegating how to create the strategy, goals and key results. and having people that are able to create that themselves. As you can see, each of the steps goes from lighter and from easier to the hardest, and to the one that requires you to find people that are more skilled to delegate them to. And the last step, step number 7, is basically what gives you the big picture, and with a single click you can actually see where your company is in that progress. And it's basically about creating reports and having the right visibility across everything that happens in your company. That includes having the right tools to track the activities and the tasks of individual people and of individual departments, and depending where you are in a hierarchy and how many people you have on your teams, you should be able to see in reports that are preferably created automatically, live dashboards that pull information from all the tools that you have, and you would see with a single click exactly the status of every person or every department, of everything that's going on, the high level status of where the key metrics for your business are. Now, if you would be able to take from steps 1 to 6, and you would tackle those one by one, bring in the right procedures, the right processes, the right principles, hiring the right people to delegate them to, and the only step you would need to do is actually the last one, the step number 7, when you see the big picture, and maybe just flag to the people responsible. Imagine that would definitely be enough one day a week for you to do that. Even one day a month. In some cases, for some entrepreneurs that have lots of businesses, they do it in one day a year. And this is exactly my goal with you. So if you have any questions about this, if this seems overwhelming, feel free to book a call with me. You're going to see a link under this video, and I'm going to jump on a call with you, see exactly how your business is set up, where do you need us to work together on, and if you find it useful, we can take it from there. Thank you very much, and go change lives. Bye-bye.